And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this really happening? He meant the other guy behind you, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera. Behind the camera. No, see, now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Rutherford Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how
I
do you do
mean,
it? Teach me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile going on some shoots, but
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smizing.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my beautiful people. I hope you all are having a wonderful, fantastic, thriving, thrilling, fantastic day. It is Friday, y'all. Man, it is Friday, and I gotta say, there has been some amazing things going on overnight, actually. Some really amazing things have gone down that I never thought I was even gonna see anytime soon. So I'm gonna get straight to the point, address the elephant in the room. We have officially crossed 20,000 subscribers, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes. God is good. I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. Real talk, I really didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I have to say thank you to everybody. All y'all amazing. And for those of y'all who are new to the channel, welcome to the family. I don't even know where to begin. Honestly, I don't know where to begin. Cause I woke up this morning. Yeah, I did post a video at like 2:00 in the morning last night. Real talk. I was up late. I was working on some stuff for the show today. Cause I wanted to give you guys some fun, give you guys something, fun. I wanted to have some fun today. You know what I'm saying? Gosh darn it. I wanted to have some fun today. So we are going to have a fun day. There are quite a bit of things we have to talk about, of course. We got to talk about all the things that are going on and such. We will be getting serious as well. It's not like we're just going to be flying off the rails and just not talking about what's going on in the world. And there's a lot of serious stuff going on. But we're also just going to have some fun. We got some trivia going on. I got a little video I'm going to be dropping here in a little bit for you guys. And yeah, like I said, we're just going to have some fun. But before we go into our fantastic Friday and celebrate the fact that we have 20,000 subscribers, 20,000 of you guys have hit that red button. I cannot believe it. Over 20,000. It's unbelievable. And I just say thank you. Thank you. But before we jump into the news and everything, my boys are in the house. You know what I'm saying? Jackie Buck and David Wataguan. I know that T will be on here a little bit later. You know what I mean? He's usually on at the 10 o'clock hour. So what is good, y'all? What's popping?
It's Friday.
Yes.
Pascal just wants to have fun on Friday. Is that how that song goes?
Hail to the gnaw.
You're a little too melodic for it.
Yeah, there we go.
That's my only singing tone. That's it, right there. So, David, you take it away.
I don't.
How's your Friday going, David?
Yes,
That's
please.
pretty good. It's pretty good. A little tired. I was out late last night at the gym, boxing. I was actually wondering if Pascal slept at all because, like you said, I saw his video at like 2 a.m. So I thought he pulled an all-nighter just posting videos.
Honestly, I've had 5 hours of sleep. Mazel tov. I mean, here it is. I'm tired. I'm tired as hell, but this adrenaline is really kicking in. I woke up 5 hours later to 20K, and I think somebody else. No. Who was it? It was in Discord. By the way, follow my Discord. Join the Discord. Fellas, one of you guys, if you guys don't mind putting in the chat, David, if you don't mind, that'd be great. we have a Discord. So on the Discord, I woke up to an alert, or actually no, I was already up. I just got an alert. I turned to the phone, and someone was already giving me a congratulations on the fact that we passed 20K, and I forgot who it was. Now I feel like a jerk. Hold up, I got my Discord here. Hold up, man. I feel like a jerk, man. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Shay is like Queen Shay. You know what I'm saying? Said, hey, 20K, yay! I just rhymed. Hey. Okay. Anyway, I'll stop. I promise. So I woke up to, I turned to my phone and there it was. I'm like, holy cow, 20,000, 20K. And now it's just, I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. I'm not complaining. I'm not sitting here saying, we're 20,000. No, I'm like, no, keep going. Keep the subscriptions going. Please keep hitting that button. Keep hitting that subscribe button, please. You know what I'm saying? The ultimate goal is 25,000 and we're that much closer to it. You know what I'm saying? The ultimate goal for the year is 100,000. I'm going to be real. The goal is 100,000 subscribers. That is the mission here for 2021. And if things keep being weird like this, don't you worry. I think we're going to get to 100,000 pretty quick if I keep breaking these stories like I have been lately, and keeping things going. Yeah, things have been amazing. And I can't thank y'all enough. Again, moving on from that, though, 20,000, holy. Yeah, I want to curse and I want to use so many bad words right now in jubilation. When was the last time I said jubilation? Never, except right now in jubilation. But I don't want that YouTube to go strike. You know what I mean? Or get that get demonetized or something crazy like that. But this is huge. Okay, so thank you again. Anyway, we do have a bunch of stories we got to jump into. I got a little thing a little video I want to show you guys here in a little bit. So you will be seeing that here shortly, of course. But we definitely got to jump into this story here. We have already talked about everything. Oh my gosh, I need to fix something on the title because the title is totally wrong on YouTube right now. But David's got this story about the firefighter. So remember when I showed on one of the night shows the face of the man who allegedly hit who allegedly bashed Officer Sicknick to death, right? With a fire extinguisher. Well, apparently he's been detained. David's got the story. Let me fix this thing. What's a guan, bro?
All right. So, like you mentioned, it was a firefighter. His name is Robert Sanford. He's he is 55 years old. It looks like he retired last year from the Chester Fire Department in Philadelphia. And so, I mean, they have video of him at the riot or whatever you want to call it. And Sanford is a supporter of Donald Trump. And his lawyer says that he got caught up in the mob mentality. And so they're kind of going with that he was lost control of himself because of the mob that he joined. But it looks like Sanford, there is some misinformation out there, but Sanford does not seem to be the one who killed an officer with the fire extinguisher. So this is a slightly different case where he threw it at 3 officers. And if you've ever held a fire extinguisher, they are pretty heavy. I don't know, about 20 to 40 pounds for a filled up one. So that would do a lot of damage. And he's being prosecuted by the feds in court. And they have been keeping track on him for a little bit ever since then. And he's claimed that, or the prosecutor claimed that miscommunication among FBI agents was why they didn't bring up charges on him earlier. Latoyson, the prosecutor, said that's a big mistake, and I'm not happy about that. I thought he was coming home until she came back with that, and he's referring to Latoyce's problem with not identifying him earlier. And so the FBI ended up asking the public to look for this guy, amongst other people. If you haven't been paying attention, there are a lot of FBI warrants out and wanted posters you can go look at. So far, a lot of the people have been identified by family members or others. Just the other day, a boy outed his uncles and parents, I think, that were at the riot or something like that. Maybe not his parents. His uncle was there though.
Yeah.
And so I mean, we've been seeing a lot of cases like this where family are pointing out that these guys, they're pointing out who was actually involved in the incident. And Latoyce goes on to say that Sanford marched to the Capitol after Trump's speech, and things got heated, and he unfortunately got caught up. He goes on to say, people who seemingly are good people, who have good intentions, get themselves in a group, and then do something stupid they wouldn't otherwise do. He says, I'm not defending what happened. They are going to be trying Sanford. We don't exactly know what yet on we don't know all the charges yet. They're still working on them. I think they released one, which was for assault, but we're still waiting on the full litany of charges. Looks like that Sanford, other than this incident, has been kind of a public servant. He was in the Chester Fire Department, started in 1994 and retired about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, and he had no problems on his record during that entire time. And Mayor Thaddeus Kirkland called last week's riot an act of domestic terrorism and said that if any city employee, current or former, took part in it, then we hope our legal system will work according to its purposes and bring them to justice. And AP mentions that they are part of the ones that misidentified him as the killer before. So there's been, it looks like the news was the one that mixed them up originally, and they've just now acknowledged that it's two different people, at least according to AP.
Man.
You know, so he's not the one. He's saying that he didn't do that to the cop, to Officer Sicknick. He's just saying that he threw a fire extinguisher at some cops, correct? I just wanted to get the beginning of that right in my mind.
Well, that's what the lawyer is saying.
That's what the lawyer is claiming.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, once they do a thorough, I don't know, where's the FBI doing forensics and stuff? Where's the CSI?
They got a video.
They got a video
of him throwing. I can only find a still so far.
We've only seen photos and stills of him, but I could have sworn I've seen a video where there literally is a guy throwing the fire extinguisher, but it's not showing him in the act of actually bashing the cop with the actual said fire extinguisher. So, in the mid, sorry, 1 second, David, in the mid of all this craziness, right? You could say anything happened. You could say there was a full-on orgy in the middle of the freaking riot, and people would believe you. You could sit there and say, "Oh, I was just standing on the sidelines, just watching people. I was just holding my camera and all that." You know what I'm saying? Unless they were caught on tape doing it, anybody can say anything right now. David, what were you gonna say?
It looks like the federal prosecutor, did bumble a little bit so far. It seems like she was referring to evidence for something else, or at least had incorrect information. She claimed that Sanford's house was searched on Thursday, and they got some Proud Boys and far-right memorabilia.
Of course.
But he denied owning that, and let's see. The prosecutor later acknowledged she had misspoken, blaming a miscommunication among FBI agents. So it seems like
what
a lot of the
How is there a miscommunication between FBI agents?
That's what the prosecutor is claiming, that she misspoke because of miscommunication from the FBI. It might not even have anything to do with the FBI. She might just be wrong in covering her butt, but I don't know. General, the prosecutor seems to have been mixed up at first, but they've clarified everything since then. I think that's partially why the news thought he might have been related to the murder of the one officer. It seems like the guy who murdered the officer at no point threw a fire extinguisher. At least no one's claiming he did. It seems like he carried it up there and started hitting people with it. So the videos might. I mean, like I'm saying, the prosecutor herself, or I think herself, is confused. So I'm not too sure exactly what happened either. But it does seem like these are two separate incidences, and
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's not you. It's me.
Well, there's two different areas because if you see the picture of the guy actually of Sanford throwing,
send me the photo. Thing. Can you send me the link or something so we can all see it? Because I know that we all want to see this, don't we, guys? We all want to see this. So let's check this out.
Like all the cops are backed up against a wall in this situation, and they're not on the stairs, and that's where the other guy died.
On the stairs.
So,
Or he was,
or
he was actually
different, like, location.
He was knocked out on the stairs, and then he later died in the hospital, if I'm correct. He didn't die on the front steps, but he did. You know what I'm saying? He was like knocked the hell out. I mean, his head was bashed in on the steps. There's photos of him laying down, like after being hit in the head. So maybe physically it's impossible for Sanford to be in two places at the same time. It's impossible if that's correct. When I see this photo, whenever you send it,
I'm working on it.
It's hard to get. I'm sure it's hard to be Superman and Clark Kent in the same place at the same time, right? So that is a possibility, but it is crazy that he was still doing crazy stuff, still assaulting other officers with a fire extinguisher, y'all. How funny. Sorry, it's not funny, but it is funny. Like, not funny, haha, but funny, ironic that he's a firefighter and he's using a fire extinguisher to beat up cops with. And we already know, I mean, allegedly, firefighters and cops don't like each other. So maybe he was getting some aggression out. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently, like, firefighters and cops, there's always some weird tension between those two entities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It's been sent to you, so it
awesome.
Should be coming to your inbox soon.
Awesome. Because I want to see it for myself. I know everybody else would like to see this photo for themselves as well. Because I mean, you know, if he's anywhere near the steps, then I'm gonna sit there and go, I beg to differ. But let's see.
Just one quick.
Still waiting.
From what I can tell, the where they threw the extinguisher was. I think it would have been westward of the Capitol along the wall, where the police were still defending the barricade. It was before they actually broke through the stairs past the walls.
When he was using the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
It was before
he was along the gated perimeter.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there's finally he's here. Okay, let me download this real quick, and then I'll pull it up. But that's so strange to me. You know what I mean? That now I don't know about this, but we're gonna look at this photo. Let's take a look at this, fellas, ladies and germs. Here's the photo. So it's by the barricade. There's the main. Here's Sanford and Sons. Actually, I shouldn't do that. That's wrong. Here's Sanford. Okay. Here's Sanford running off or running towards cops with this fire extinguisher. Okay.
I just sent you the video of it.
Excellent. But here's the thing, though. Here's my only argument on this situation. We're going to look at the video, obviously, when it gets here, because it seems to, it's got to go up to the satellite, and, up to space and come back down. Oh, that's a lot faster than I expected. Okay, so here's another video. We're going to look at this here shortly. But what are the chances of him being able to throw the fire extinguisher at the cops, maybe get his hands back on it, run to this? Okay, all right, hold on. Let's look at the video. Let's look at the video. Let's look at the video and see it for ourselves, shall we?
And there's a whole bunch of people throwing a whole bunch of stuff at the cops.
True. Here we go. USA! Hold on. Let's do that again. That was fast. USA! Okay, that was... He lobbed it, basically. Hold up.
there's a guy like dying over there. They're trying to hold him up.
Wow. One more time. I mean, he just, yeah, okay, we get it now. Okay.
I mean, I don't think most people have seen this type of
it.
video.
Say that again?
I don't think most people see this type of video because what was really shown was people going inside the Capitol and doing like orderly marching through the Capitol.
Word.
And like there wasn't very much of this stuff being portrayed on, most of the news networks, at least not that I saw, that are actually showing people literally like trying to beat cops in front of the Capitol Hill.
I mean, they were hell bent on trying to bring. They wanted to bring the pain. You know what I mean? They wanted to bring the thunder. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's so much going on, and yeah, he just kind of lobs it. He's not hitting it. He's not using it like a baseball bat. He's not swinging it around. He just kind of tosses it at people. You know what I'm saying? Which is not good still. But yeah. Who's the guy who killed the cop, man? That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? We need to find that dude. He still should be charged. He should be brought in and charged no matter what. Everybody who was involved in that thing should be charged with a whole bunch. They should throw them under the freaking jail, under the prison. You know what I mean? Throw the whole freaking book and the kitchen sink at any person that was on there doing any type of violence. Any. But at the same time, the person or people that killed that officer are still at large. You're telling me that nobody was out here that saw this? That's insane. There are ex-wives. There are ex-wives that are IDing their ex-husbands. There are kids that are IDing their parents now as well. People are getting ID'd and they can't ID the person who killed or persons that killed that officer? That's insane. That's insane, guys.
I mean, they're going to arrest him, and they will find him.
They better.
Those cops didn't have helmets on. He probably would have done serious brain damage to them. The fact that the only reason they didn't get hurt is because they all three had helmets on, and he hit all three. I'm
Lucky
pretty sure
them.
if that fire extinguisher hit just one of them, with or without a helmet, it would have probably done more serious damage.
It said that it ricocheted off two of them and hit one of the guys that didn't have the helmet on that you could see in that video.
It's messed up. It's messed up, man.
Yeah.
It's not right. Like this whole story is really jacked up, Jack. But it really is really messed up. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I mean, I watched probably 3 or 4 hours of video total before they even broke into the Capitol, and there was just fighting along the wall the whole time. Like, there was probably an hour-long battle along the wall perimeter before anyone even got inside the building. The entire event was very violent. I mean, once you get to the perimeter of the Capitol building or further inward, it was just violence. It seems like if anyone was there that wasn't committing violence, they were generally like a few hundred feet away just yelling. So, and plus, I'm not really surprised that they haven't found all these people yet. A lot of them have gone in hiding. I forget his name, the guy who organized the
Ali Alexander. Ali Alexander, yes.
Okay. So yeah, Ali Alexander's in hiding. It seems like they had planning beforehand, and the FBI is now thinking that this was organized and wasn't necessarily incited directly by Trump's speech. So they're investigating a pre-organization to kind of use this to infiltrate the Capitol building. So that's what the FBI are looking at right now, but it's still an active investigation, so we don't have their findings yet,
right,
or their information. But they are looking very hard, and they are investigating as well Capitol Police corruption, because they've already called for the resignation of the Capitol Police chief. I forget his name, but he resigned because he had half of the Capitol Police off duty at the time, or at least deployed elsewhere. And So there's a lot they have to investigate, and we're very sure they are looking for that guy, and they will probably eventually find him. But there's just so many people for them to look for right now that they're just everywhere. The FBI's everywhere rounding up these people because most of them flew in from different states, so they're not located in the same place. They need to go everywhere to find and question these people.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we're going to continue to see some that don't get found. I mean, people go into hiding all the time. There's just a guy in a Korean forest, a Japanese guy that had been hiding there for 40 years from a warrant. So I mean, this is the kind of thing we're going to be seeing from some of these people. They're going to find somewhere remote and they're going to hide, and the FBI is going to keep trying to find them. And depending on how good they are at hiding, the FBI might not find them, especially if they go out into the more wild areas outside of the cities with all the cameras and people to identify them. Hopefully they do, because throwing a fire extinguisher at people's heads is, I would say it's attempted murder, because it's very easy to kill someone. Or Yeah.
From what I understand,
go ahead.
At the Capitol complex, because there's all the underground stuff and because of the need for so many people to be able to have cell phone access, essentially if anybody had a cell phone on them and then it still is using them, it's going to be very easy to find them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they can triangulate everybody that was past a certain point on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Especially if they're inside the Capitol building. And then from there, they're able to go back through, request records, and they'll go and they will pinpoint every single person that had a cell phone within a certain, perimeter of that perimeter of the building, and they'll go and they'll find them all. And they'll go interrogate them and find out what happened.
Trust and believe. The feds is watching. They watching. They all watching. Big Brother's watching. They know exactly where we are right now. You know what I mean? So any person, you're right. I mean, they will eventually get caught. And also, these are all a bunch of idiots. Let's be real. These are all a bunch of idiots that did not wear any type of masks, any type of thing to cover their face to try to hide their identity. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's like they wanted to be caught. They wanted to be, of course they wanted to be seen. That's why they did that. But they also wanted to get their ass caught. What did they think? That they weren't going to see some prison time? That they weren't going to see at least some jail time? I got a comment here, which is interesting. Bonifacio Rios on YouTube just said, video I saw, people are chanting not to break or steal or trash anything. Stopped people from doing damages, but that was after they had broken in. Here it is. Thank you for the comment. But yeah, too little, too late. Why suddenly, don't touch anything, while behind them, all these windows are smashed open and everything. Great, right? But it's too late. That's too late then. You know what I mean? I'm sure there were people out there going, no, this is supposed to be peaceful. Of course, everybody did not get the memo. Not all of them got the TPS report. You know what I'm saying? This is all a big surprise to them. I'm sure, to a lot of them. And like you said, real quick, David, like David just said about the ex-firefighter who said, I was just caught in the motion, in the throes of passion, while everybody else was part of the chaos. I just got a part of it too. There's a lot of people that were doing that too. They just didn't know that they were going to be a part of something so chaotic. But that still does not justify the craziness that happened on the front steps of of that Capitol building and inside that Capitol building. David.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that the people that were trying to stop the violence, even though it was afterward, it seemed like they were the group of protesters that never actually entered the building. So it's kind of like some of the BLM protests we saw, where people would join an otherwise peaceful group to hide their intention to create violence. I mean, that's pretty common, especially if you're talking about insurgents. That's exactly what they do. That's what makes them insurgents for a lot of points. But so yeah, from what I could tell, it was the people that never actually entered the building and stayed about 100 feet away. And again, like in BLM, there was at least one video where they ended up grabbing some guy that was hammering stone and pulled him away for the police to get. But all the people within the White House seem to be engaged with the violence. So seems to be a pretty clear distinction between the two groups, though. It'd be a little hard for the FBI to distinguish them. But there's definitely the peaceful protesters who were just yelling far away from the building, and then there was an entirely different group that was engaged in the attack. And I think some of those people are the ones that, like the guy that had 1,000 rounds, the FBI was watching him. They're probably the bad actors, like the guy with the 5 zip ties and the armor. They came in planned for violence, and it doesn't seem like all the people were there. I mean, most of the actual Capitol siege people seem to have been wealthier, where the larger mob that wasn't involved was mostly just middle or lower class Trump supporters that showed up. So, I mean, this is an issue when you have people coming from all 50 states to one rally. You're not able to tell who's really who and who you can control and who not. And like somebody mentioned that there's been stories about not progressive, right-wing lawmakers giving tours the day before the riot, the siege, or whatever, terrorist attack. And so there was definitely a pre-planned element. There were people there with tactical gear that intended to tactically engage the Capitol building. And then it just seems like there was all the other thousands of people that never actually approached the Capitol building.
Yeah.
So, but there were about 200 to 300 that actually attacked the Capitol. From what I can tell, from the videos I've seen, there could be a lot more. But from what I've seen, it was around 200 to 300 people.
No, as of Monday or Tuesday, 70 of them had already been arrested.
Word. And I love how quick. I mean, but there's still there's still like a lot of people to arrest. But that's still great movement, because I figured that a lot of people would have gotten.
They said they put out a note about saying, hey, we need, if anybody has information, and then like within 48 hours, like 100,000 emails had come through with different photos and videos and like, oh, I know this person, I saw this person, this is where they work. So it's there are a lot of digital sleuths out there, working on behalf of this too, and supplying information as they can find it, linking up, old MySpace accounts to, somebody that's out at the protests. The FBI right now is offering a $50,000 reward for information about the pipe bomb suspect or suspects. So if anybody knows about that, that'd be, one of those chances to make a come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're looking at felony murder as a possible thing to apply to some people around since the Capitol Hill officer was killed. And so if people get charged with that's pretty big. A lot of these people that are being looked at for sedition and conspiracy, and then there's other ones that just are like trespassing, taking federal mail. But once you get that USPS involved, I mean, those are some pretty long-term federal charges that get put onto you too. And so people that took out the mail or computers or like that from different offices are they're looking at pretty big things as well. I'm surprised that there's not any like espionage type of things that are thought of, because if people are going in and trying to steal things from Pelosi, wouldn't that be like trying to get information and like spying?
But I feel like we've already been talking about that. The speculations, at least, of that kind of thing going on. Yes, they're saying that Nancy Pelosi's laptop is still gone, but then they're saying that the Department of Defense has her laptop, apparently. I mean, but like I said, there's a lot of stories. Like I said before, they've said that Trump, Trump's concession speech was a deep fake. They say that he's dead. They say Nancy Pelosi got some crazy virus and died from the riots, but she's still here. She's still strong. We've seen Trump in person. Ain't no deep fakes. He ain't dead. So there's a lot of stories like, oh, because of other things like Gates and stuff, that the laptop is gone. There's so many speculations about espionage, or the possibility of espionage, that it ain't over yet. Those theories are still here. Just like that Boebert, Representative Boebert, the Congresswoman Boebert, that was not willing to walk through a metal detector because she had a gun. That she had a CCW. Also, she was tweeting throughout the entire time live on Twitter, basically signaling to her people the whereabouts of where Nancy Pelosi was and where Vice President Mike Pence was. Those are very, very suspicious things, moments that should definitely be flown up red flags, and they should be looking at her and a lot of other people that were involved in that way. Just like that Ali Alexander guy. that said that he had three different GOP, I think it was three GOP congressmen that were involved with the Stop the Steal or Save America rally. You know what I'm saying? Why hasn't there been a deep dive or a deep investigation into those three gentlemen? You know what I'm saying? Ali Alexander is out on the lam. He is out. He's gone. He's in hiding. He's disappeared. Those are very strange things. Most definitely they should be looking at espionage. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. It's creepy, all that stuff that happened. You cannot tell me. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying this until I'm proved otherwise. You cannot tell me that this was not an inside job. And I think all three of us, no, all four of us, including T, which should be on here soon, you know for a fact, all four of us agree something fishy was going on. And all the people that were inside the building had, not all of them, but there were some people inside that building that knew what was going down. Bruh, tell me this. Why would they have flex cuffs? Why would some of these rioters have a copious amounts of flex cuffs? Not zip ties.
Just fear. They weren't going to use them. They just for fear.
I want to make this abundantly clear. Not zip ties. Those were flex cuffs. There's a difference between the two. Flex cuffs for cuffing somebody up. They had a handful of those things.
It's cuffing season?
Bruh. Real talk. Why would they have those handy? Why would they even need those things? They were planning on doing something insane. They wanted to get a hold of AOC. They wanted to get a hold of Ayanna Presley. They wanted to get a hold of Nancy Pelosi and Vice President Mike Pence. They wanted to get their hands on as many Congress people as they could. And it's all because somebody on the inside was helping them find out what was going on. How would they know where Nancy Pelosi's office is? It's hard to get to her office, apparently. It's hard to get to certain offices. And they knew exactly where everything was? Inside job. I'm sorry. I hope that YouTube doesn't slap me or turn me off or something like that for saying something like this. I mean, they've had plenty of other people say crazier things. But you can't tell me all evidence is pointing towards, these breadcrumbs are leading me towards this area, which is this was an inside job. For sure.
And,
we do.
On those flex cuffs,
okay.
I definitely think they were taking them to take prisoners because, I mean, zip cuffs are hard, flex cuffs are harder to come by than zip ties. And the reason they're called flex cuffs is because with zip ties, there are ways to break them free. You might cut yourself doing it, but you can break out of them. Flex cuffs, on the other hand, they're usually like double nylon. I don't think anyone could break out of them with sheer strength like you could with zip ties. So they went out of their way to get something that's more expensive and that allows them to hold people for a long time. So that does speak to me that those 5 flex cuffs, or however, they might have more for sure, but at least the guy with them was intending to take prisoners probably outside of the building. I do think they planned to take, I think they planned to take prisoners or hostages.
Yeah, they were planning on something big. They were planning on doing something really, really big, and thank God nothing continued. Real quick, I just saw something in the chat, the family's chatting, and Panda just said Tim Pool's Twitter account's taken down. I don't know if his Twitter account was taken down. I know that his Facebook page has now been officially demonetized because of him talking about his own theories and his own thoughts of everything that's going on with the insurrection, the riots that are going on. Obviously, Tim Pool has his own personal opinions about certain things. And like I said, I watch everybody. I watch everybody. And I do listen to Tim Pool from time to time, and I saw that video about him getting demonetized basically on Facebook, and I was like, oh boy, he better watch himself, because they can take him down, they can completely ban him for the things that he is saying, not because he's saying anything that's outlandish or wrong, but there are people out here that there are, like, big tech is literally cracking down on people that are saying radical things. And I'm not even saying that Tim Pool is a radical dude. He really isn't. But he has his opinions about things. And I don't think, I mean, shoot, man. There's Steven Crowder. There's Ben Shapiro. I mean, there's much more extreme conservatives that have said much worse than Tim Pool. So it's surprising that he's getting kind of like demonetized and he's getting slapped with all these different things left and right. And it's unfortunate, you know, but that is, I don't know about the Twitter account, but I know that Facebook has demonetized his show's page, which is BS in my personal opinion.
Looks like his Twitter is still active. He posted about 2 hours ago on that.
Okay, so then there you go. It's not down. It's not completely down. But thank you for that heads up, though. You know what I mean? Thank you. And Panda, yes, I saw the weed debate with Joe Rogan. It's freaking hilarious. With Steven Crowder and Joe Rogan, it's really, really funny.
Oh, nice.
It's really, really funny.
Can I bring something up real quick?
Yeah, really quick.
Reading about this,
because we got to jump to the next story. Go ahead.
It goes back. It's back to the stuff. So the guy who had the zip ties, like the handcuff stuff.
Yeah.
So they already put him in front of a judge, and for one of the guys, and he was a retired. Let's see, he was an Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Larry Rendell Brock Jr., a retired Air Force officer. And he was put in front of a court. Right?
That was one of them. He's the one who got. Remember, I talked about it. He was the one who got ID'd by his ex-wife.
Right, and he's the one that said, "Oh, I just found him on the ground, put in my jacket. I didn't even know." But the prosecutor said he means to take hostages. He means to kidnap, restrain, perhaps try, perhaps execute members of the U.S. government. They argued that he should be detained. The judge said he would release Brock to his home confinement, have him surrender any firearms, and said he could only have limited internet access as conditions of.
Conditions of what? You broke out. You broke out.
Like what in the world?
No. Hold on. Go back. You said conditions of what? You just broke out. What did you say?
His So Curtin ordered Brock to surrender any firearms and said he could have only limited internet access as conditions of his release to go to home confinement. So a person who stormed the Capitol with firearms and zip ties for people isn't in jail.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and he gets to eat organic food. Let's not forget that.
And he gets to use the internet.
And I'm just saying, might as well throw in their organic food. And freedom. A whole bunch of freedom. That's stupid. That's whack as hell.
How is that
whack.
Justice?
That isn't justice. That's him just... That's him getting a stay in. He's got that's like a staycation. That's like a paid vacation right there. That's stupid. He still gets internet. He still gets all these other things. Like, he should be locked up, period. There's another guy that there's a very famous photo of him like standing on or like walking over chairs. And he's got a gang of flex cuffs in his hands. And he's donned out all like head to toe in black, right? And that dude, like, these guys should be seeing a long time in prison. That's what they should be seeing down the barrel of. A long, very, very long sentence. And yet some of these guys are getting the VIP treatment. Like, he's Tekashi 6ix9ine. He might be, real talk, he might be snitching. He might be doing a Tekashi 6ix9ine. Think about it. He might be snitching on a whole bunch of people. He got cases on all these mother lovers. And he's like, man, the King Kong ain't got ish on me. And he's going to go and give everybody, he's going to be like, that dude was there. That dude was there. Yes, he bought me a Frosty. This dude was there. We had a beer. He had the Bush Lights. And then, you know what I'm saying? Trust. Yeah. This is the guy who actually had the flex tufts. He's the one who had all the flex cuffs.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and use that internet. Let's see where you go. Who you talking to?
But you know what I mean? Just think about it. Go ahead. We got to jump into the next story, though, guys. Go ahead.
I was going to say, on the bright side, Parler has been helping them locate these people. So despite it seems like they have been giving phone numbers and addresses to the FBI on anyone that promised violence for the 6th. So, so Parler's gone now, so they can't track them anymore. But at least they have that information from before on, like they can use that evidence. I mean, Parler's been helping them the whole time, kind of like Twitter and Google does.
Well, Parler
was also hacked.
Parler was also hacked, you said?
Yeah, Parler was hacked, and 99.9% of all data, like literally because all these different services shut down their service to Parler.
Yeah.
Like their security went down too, and then people could access and create usernames without being verified. And all of a sudden, like hackers found out that they could go in and get access to like certain parts of the admin, and then they started downloading everything that happened on there. And people that want to be verified citizens had to upload their ID to the site. And so all of this information is out there, and people have been sharing it and like sharing it to on chat rooms and Discords and everything else.
People are being stupid. Stupid is stupid, and people are being stupid. Real talk. Tekashi 6ix9ine all day. Watch. As soon as they go, it's the police. FBI, open up the door. They're gonna be like, yes, I have everybody's information. There's a guy in this room. There's another. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna spill the beans. Why? Because they don't want to see prison. They don't want to see time in prison, or they want to see if they can limit the amount of time that they spend in prison. So yeah, everybody's gonna squawk. Whole lot of tongues are gonna be wiggling and waggling. Trust me, it's going to be quick. Hopefully it's going to be quick. But like I said, still the dude who has killed the officer with a fire extinguisher is still at large. He is still out there, and we still have not had him ID'd. We got to jump into this next story, though, because this is the top story that I haven't gotten a chance to do it because I had to switch out the title. I don't know what was going on. By the way, don't forget to hit those likes, okay? Crush those like buttons, you know what I'm saying? Love to see you get past 100 likes today. That would really, really mean a lot. And if you're the first time viewer of this show, please go hit that subscribe button. That would really mean a lot. And join the Pascal Show family. I do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. But we got to jump into this next story. Kyle Rittenhouse. I did a pop-up video about this just last night. 8 hours ago, it dropped. And Kyle Rittenhouse was seen at a bar. 18 years old. 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse, only an hour and a half after he had pleaded not guilty in court, was seen at a bar downing beers with Proud Boys and throwing up white power gang signs. We have to do this recap because this is a very crazy story to me. I want to show you the photo, too, because I know I had it in my pop-up video. Please go check it out when you get time. That would really mean a lot. And if you can, share. But we got to look at this photo because it is whack. He's wearing a shirt that says free as f. You know what I'm saying. And he's throwing up white power gang signs. Here's the photo. This is him with some Proud Boys, chilling, having a grand old time, acting like he's a freaking celebrity, flashing hate signs, hate speech signs, whatever. Crazy, right? Now, he was there because his own mama, brought him to the bar to hang out with Proud Boys. Mind you, this is the same mama that drove him across state lines so that he can run around with his AR-15 and get in some trouble. We have got to talk about this amongst the fellas. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Now the prosecutors on that case are trying to change the guidelines and the rules of his bond, because they're seeing him out drinking. 18 years old. Wearing a free as F, like his own merch, I'm sure. He got merch, y'all. Oh, yeah, he got merch. This is true. He actually has merch. There's bikinis with sayings on it and all that stuff. Dude got merch, y'all. Dude is a celebrity amongst the white supremacist world. okay? The far right, extreme right, okay? Dude got merch. He's out at a bar just after he got released with Proud Boys at 18 years old with merch. Fellas, what are your thoughts?
Well, Wisconsin allows you to drink, one at home if you're under 21 with your parents, but also at a bar or restaurant. If you're out with your parents, you can drink as long as the owner of the restaurant or bar
is okay with it.
Serving the minor.
Right.
They just obviously can't drive. And it's just one of those things. The fact that doesn't break his release, and he can be out there and doing that stuff, flexing basically. Because how much money was raised for him to get him out of jail within hours, and I'm sure that he got paid out some extra cash on top for being the patriot that he was seen as, and it's just I don't know, the fact that this kid is put on a pedestal is just not right. That's the alt-right.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole event seems to be very profitable for him, and I expect that to extend to a lot of the people arrested over the 6th, because, I mean, a lot of them are in fairly good positions to start off with in terms of they're already maybe middle class or so, then they get, or higher, and then they get these events so they can publicize themselves, and then they get a bunch of donations for what they did to get them out of jail, usually more in excess of the bail or bond or whatever.
Right.
So they end up making a lot of money off of this. I'm not surprised he's using it to create a merch store. It's obviously in bad taste. I mean, it's not on the level of Zimmerman, but it's still pretty bad. And I just think the thing is, though, if it's legal for him to drink in what was it, Wisconsin at 18? I mean, if he didn't break a law, they shouldn't do anything to him.
Oh, I mean, he's not breaking any laws, but he's not breaking any laws by drinking. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's a bad look. You're hanging out with Proud Boys. You're drinking beers. Of course, you're with your mom. Your mom is giving you consent. You're with a legal guardian. That's fine. I get that part. But there's a difference between a 18-year-old boy, 18-year-old kid hanging out with their mom, having dinner or something like that, and her going, "Yeah, go ahead and have a beer. It's cool. I already know you drink anyway. It's fine." Or my son is a convicted, not convicted, is on trial for murder. Yeah, sure. Let's bring him with the Proud Boys, which is already looked at in a very bad way. Proud Boys, the image of Proud Boys, is not looked at in a liking manner. It's not positive. And you're drinking with Proud Boys. You're throwing up white power gang signs. And you just walked out pleading not guilty to murder. Just doesn't make, to me, is a very, very bad look. It's a bad idea. You don't do that. You stay home and you I don't know, you play your PS5 if you got it. I know a lot of people still waiting for it, but you know what I'm saying. You go, you play video games, you read a book, you know what I'm saying? You go do something. You write a memoir, whatever. You try to show that you are at your best. Now, I just saw a comment here, and I just wanted to throw that here. Jeff Hastings on YouTube, thank you so much for the comment. He said, Proud Boys probably paid his bail, which is possibly a very strong, that's a good, strong possibility. I know that the MyPillow guy was involved with paying for his bail as well. The Ricky Schroeder was involved with paying his bail as well. So maybe Proud Boys are maybe funding his legal team, maybe. So he's like, all right, I got to show up and show face with these guys because they're helping me out right now. That's a possibility. That's most definitely a possibility. But at the same time, do you wear free as F and throw up white power gang signs, I just feel like that is a very, very bad look, in my personal opinion. But, Jack, thoughts? Mm-hmm. We got T in the house as well. He's still setting up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so much money that was thrown towards him. And, he obviously thinks that he was in the right. And if a judge didn't throw down the book on him harder, then, he's just being seen as, like someone just said, he's the official mascot. It's, I don't know. I mean, eventually he's going to do something else stupid, I imagine. If he feels disempowered and feels like he can do, I'm on top of the world type of stuff, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. T, you know what's going on?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Hey, man. Speak on it. What are your thoughts on this, man?
This is crazy. This topic, just shows a contrast in who we decide to label criminals and who we decide to label heroes/patriots. So, last year we had probably a handful of high-profile cases involving people of color or people who are black. Encounters with firearms and our police, from Ahmaud Arbery to Jacob Blake and so on. It's hard to fathom how much support Kyle has had publicly. It just shows the unfairness and the hypocrisy in this country. The only thing that I agree on with Kyle was self-defense was something that he had to do for self-preservation. I get that part, but I still believe he shouldn't never have been there with any kind of firearm. So I guess him just being there was already the bad part. So whatever happened afterwards was on him. So he needs to be accountable for his actions, like everyone else has to be. So. That's all.
Yeah. David, thoughts?
I mean, I agree completely with Mr. T. I still think he was defending himself in the moment, and I agree completely. He should have never been there. His mom should have never taken him there. And the fact, I mean, he's a child that put himself in a bad situation. I mean, he's not a child. He's young, but he put himself in a bad situation. And if he hadn't done so, he wouldn't have shot anyone. He didn't really need to be there at all. So, I mean, still, there's a huge part of what he did that is unquestionably wrong. And I think that just the ability he can make profit off of it isn't okay at all. It's wrong, too. It's that it's just one of those cases that's more complicated because people are focusing on what I don't think was the actual wrong part. Like, people are focusing on him shooting the guys that were chasing him, when I think they should be focused on the fact that his parents took him across state lines to go to a place where violence was expected, and he took his gun where violence was expected.
Oh, you picked up a gun.
He's putting himself in a situation
right
where he where you have to engage in violence.
Yeah, he ended up picking up a gun from his stimulus check. So he had a stimulus check. He had his boy pick up a gun. Allegedly, the mother was, unbeknownst to her, she was driving her son across state lines so he can be a part of that whole situation. But also, she didn't know that he was picking up a gun. At least that's what she is alleging. That's what she's stating. Whether that is true or not, we don't know. But yes, I mean, the whole situation wouldn't have happened if he didn't go across state lines, if he didn't even get in that car and drive off. But then at the same time, this is what I was trying to say too. You got the same mama taking him to go hang out with Proud Boys, downing beers, throwing up white power gang signs. bad look. The same mother that drove across state lines for him to be a part of that whole thing that happened in Kenosha, in which he shot a man in the head. And I said in my pop-up video, this mama needs her own role model. Like, she needs to be with Boys Club, like Boys and Girls Club. Like, seriously, I don't get why she's okay with that, bringing him over there. Now, I've also played out that idea of like, all right, this could very well be the last time he ever drinks a beer for ever. I get that part. But with Proud Boys throwing up gang signs, white power gang signs, that doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? I put this on the mama. I straight up put this on the mama. And here it is, though. If Proud Boys were involved in his bail or paying for his legal fees and all that stuff, then you say thank you and you say, hey, when the case is over, we will share a beer. Because we don't know what it will look like to the public rocking this way, downing beers, and he's already done something irresponsible. He's already done something tremendously irresponsible. And now he's back outside in a bar under the legal age of drinking, and he's drinking, wearing a stupid shirt, throwing up white power signs with a known white supremacist group, allegedly known as being white supremacists. Irresponsible. Right down the line. Irresponsible. I mean, the prosecutors are going to have a field day. They just gave Rittenhouse and his mom just gave them nothing but dessert. They're going to have a field day with all this footage. A field day. Like I said, he might not get charged with a lot of things because there's people out here that feel some type of way about whether this was self-defense or no. He might get away with a lot of things. But with these pieces of evidence, with this footage, they're going to be able to throw this and some things that he might have been able to walk away easily. Now they're going to slap him with it for sure. Now they're going to slap him in the face with it even harder. And that's a damn shame. Real talk. I mean, however you look at it, you know what I'm saying? It's still a damn shame. He's still a young kid. He's a young boy. And I wish he would use his head, even for himself, use his head. But he also, it doesn't seem like the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree because the mom ain't thinking either. Real talk. But I'm very excited about this. Okay, guys, it's time to have a little bit of a palate cleanser. Okay. I am very excited because this is something I haven't done in a very, very long time. I have a little video for you guys. Yeah. Haven't done a skit in a very, very long time. So here we go. Enjoy this beautiful beef skittle.
Beef skittles.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol.
Trump's concession. Just when he thought he won the election, then the other side said it's time to get out the way. These are Trump's concession. The plan is thrown and I don't know what to do. I guess he gotta cry boo-hoo in these concessions. If he gonna tell it, then he better tell it all. Capitol Hill turned into a big brawl. He's so thrown and now he don't know what to do but to cry boo-hoo in these concessions. Now this gonna be the hardest thing I think he ever had to do. Lawmakers are calling for Donald Trump to be removed for the mess he been causing in all them hissy fits. Biden took the election, now he's keeping it. First thing that came to mind was you. Second thing, you claimed election was fraud. Is that true? Third thing was the riots. Didn't really care what they did. But it is time to close the lid and bye-bye on the 20th. Just when he thought he won the election, on the other side, it's time to Plan is thrown and I don't know what to do. I guess he gotta cry boo-hoo in these concessions. If he gonna tell it, then he gotta tell it all. Capitol Hill turned into a big brawl. He's on throne and now he don't know what to do but to cry boo-hoo in these concessions. I know this is the hardest thing that you've ever had to do. To go on the microphone and confess that you incited this insurrection on Capitol Hill. Please be a man enough to tell us this. And hell no, we won't give you another chance. This ain't about you. This ain't about me. It's about us, the U.S. These are Trump's concessions. Just when he thought he won the election, then the other side said it's time to get out the way. These are Trump's concessions. The plan is thrown and I don't know what to do. I guess he gotta cry boo-hoo.
Hey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You know, like I said, I haven't done skits in a little while because of COVID and everything. But my plan is to be doing more skits like that here, at least once a week. Come out with something fun, something different, something light, and all that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Definitely hit that like button down below if you enjoyed it, thought it was funny and everything. You know, it's all for laughs. It's all for a good time. You know what I mean? I know that we got people on that watch the show that are Trump supporters and all that. And, you know, like I said, you know, this is just to relax, lay back, relax, and just have a chuckle or two. But I will be dropping that video out here soon once the show is over. So if you don't mind sharing it with your friends, sharing it with your people, that would really mean a lot. You know what I mean? Yesterday was a very long day. I'll just say that. But like I said to you before, once we turned into the new year, I was going to be starting to bring in new things into the show or old things into the show that I used to have on the show. And this part is one of them, you know, being able to bring in a few things to laugh, to chuckle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so hopefully you guys enjoy that, and I will continue to do that on the show. Anyway, well, fellas, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was funny, something like that.
It was popping.
It was popping. Brand new whip just hopped in.
That crazy wig, man. That thing was talking by itself.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But anyway, we got to jump into this next story. There has been obviously a lot of things have been going on. We got to go back. Obviously, go back. We got to go back and talk about the Capitol Hill riots and all that. And one of the things that was going on in the riots too was that cops were involved. A lot of cops were involved. And there's a little bit of a video talking about where they've interviewed some of the officers that were involved, that were literally right there on ground zero in the middle of all the chaos. And they talk about their literal firsthand experience of what happened during these riots. So I wanted to show you guys this video. Let's check it out. This thing's tripping. Hold on, guys. Come on. Internet. Maybe hey, so the one that Jack sent me, I don't know is I don't know if that one's working, man, to be honest. The one that on yours, David, is that one with a clip?
I don't know if it has a clip in it. I'm checking.
All right, let me.
Yeah, it looks like it has one.
Okay, let me try this again. Because this one's like not registering at all. Come on already. Ah, there we go. Hopefully it'll actually work.
Our crime and justice correspondent is Mr. Shimon Prokupecz, and he is here with more on our breaking news tonight. The officers who were under siege from the mob speaking out tonight for the first time, Shimon. It is unbelievable to watch and hear what they went through. Those officers were incredibly outnumbered. What did Officer Fanon say about that?
Yeah, and Don, how brave, right? How brave of these officers to go in there.
Come on, guys.
The way that they did, knowing that they were going to be outnumbered. And when you listen to these stories, it is such bravery, and it is so good that they're finally speaking out. You know, the one officer who you spent some time with talking to, describing how they were outnumbered, how he was laying around and they were ripping things off him, stealing his equipment, and just basically hoping he could survive.
Don Lemonade.
Describing all of that. Here is more.
Shimon, he said, before you go to that, he said, and maybe, I don't know if this is where you're going, but he said at some point he realized that he had his gun on him, and that would be the worst thing to lose his gun, and he put both hands over it. But go on, sorry, which I thought, he's exactly right.
And the fear of shooting people, because as you said, it could wreak more havoc. And there's also the concern that they needed justification to shoot these people. Just the entire story is just incredible. And just take a listen some about more of what he said.
We encountered some pretty significant resistance. I mean, we were getting, chemical irritants sprayed. They had pipes and, different metal objects, batons, some of which I think they had taken from law enforcement personnel.
Right.
They were striking us with those. And then it was just like the sheer number of rioters. I mean, the force that was coming from that side, it was difficult to offer any resistance when you're only about 30 guys going up against 15,000.
It's crazy.
And Shimon, we're also hearing from another MPD officer, Daniel Hodges. We saw the terrible video of him being crushed by rioters in a door. What else did he say?
Yeah, that video, everyone has seen that video, and he was crushed. You can see all the rioters around him. In one case, trying to pull his gas mask off his face. He also describes just being surrounded and outnumbered there.
The guy ripping my mask off, and he was able to rip away my baton and beat me with it. And,
yeah, you guys remember he was the guy who was like getting squashed, literally squashed, and they were like grabbing at his face and all that, and he almost got crushed to death. I think this is the actual guy.
He was practically foaming at the mouth. So just these people were true believers in the worst way. Just the absolute zealotry of these people.
See that video? Ooh.
How they
crushed.
100% believed that what they were doing was right, and that they were the patriots, and that no one would get in their way.
And it's just the sound of these officers talking about how determined so many of the attackers, this mob, was to get inside Capitol Hill, and ultimately probably to get to some of the lawmakers, Don.
Shimon, I just want to play some more from Officer Hodges, and we'll discuss. Here it is.
They were waving the thin blue line flag and telling us, we're not your enemies, while they were attacking us and, kill one of us. So it was, it's hard to say exactly what's going through their minds because it doesn't make sense to me. Some of them felt like...
So real quick, I think this is really interesting because I think that is a tactic that I think a lot of the rioters were using. Hence the reason why I think a lot of cops did just step back and just kind of go ahead. Because they were sitting there going, hey, we're with you. We're fighting on behalf of you. We have the blue thin line flag and everything and Blue Lives Matter and all that stuff as a way to get them to sit there and basically put down their weapons and just basically say, we'll join you type of thing. We saw a little bit of that happening before in the front of the barricade, before they crushed or broke through the barricade. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy.
We would be fast friends because so many of them have been vocal or at least virtue signaling their support for the police over the past year. They say things like, we've been supporting you through all this Black Lives Matter stuff. You should have our back. And they felt like entitled. They felt like they would just walk up there and tell us that they're here to take back Congress, and we would agree with them, and we'd walk in hand and just take over the nation. But obviously that was not the case, and it will never be the case.
And Shimon, we thank these officers for their bravery and what they were up against. They were outnumbered, and yet they fought, and it could have been, a real massacre. Shimon.
It could have, and I think it's important, and I'm happy to see that the D.C. police, the Metropolitan, the District of Columbia police speaking out, because so many people who were inside that building are crediting them with saving lives. So many of the law enforcement officials that we've talked to, remember, Don, they came in as the reinforcement. The Capitol Police were outnumbered, and the first people they called was the MPD, and they came in. And what they did was they gave time for the Capitol Police, for the FBI, for the ATF to get inside that building and to perhaps save lives of lawmakers, right? Remember, they needed time to get the leaders of this country out of harm's way. And it is the MPD that allowed that. And one other point I want to tell you is that the prosecutor, the man, Michael Sherwin, who's leading this investigation, he said that we will be shocked by some of the video that we will eventually see. Hopefully that will come out. The hand-to-hand combat that these MPD officers were facing with these attackers, these vile, vicious attackers who were trying to get around every officer. They wanted nothing stopping them, and it was the MPD that ultimately came in there, were allowed them to slow down and get a lot of the lawmakers out of harm's way, Don.
That's crazy, y'all. That's absolute madness. To think that this is actually like, thank God we have people that are here to live to tell the story still. That is not like there was much more bloodshed going on. But I can only imagine what those cops are feeling, how those cops are feeling right now. Not only just the feeling of betrayal, but just the anxiety I feel would be tremendous, because you just don't know anymore. You just don't know anymore. These guys could just pop up out of nowhere any day. And of course, there's all these stories of things going on, things to come. They're saying that this weekend is going to be absolute madness, that there's going to be a whole lot of violence on every capital in every state. So there are states right now getting ready, straight up getting ready right now. It's insane. T, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I question the cop. I seen back the blue flags, and I can't figure out how someone who's back in the blue, especially all summer, has decided not to back the blue at the last second and begin attacking cops. The cops who are given orders to, defend the politicians and to defend the Capitol. And I was questioning why, if any of those cops had fear for their lives, why didn't they pull their firearm and defend themselves? I was trying to think, were there orders given by their captain or their boss to not use firearms? Because the only firearm I seen was used was by a plainclothes person, which I don't know what his title was, whether he was Secret Service or he was security or what, the one that shot Ashley. But besides that, those in uniform, I never seen them even attempt to pull a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
But we see this happen all the time, and we seen this yesterday with the pastor, who was shot by a cop. Cops pull their firearms in a matter of seconds all the time, and their defense is always, I fear for my life. But in this incident, I seen nothing of the sort, even when you've seen cops being assaulted and cops being threatened and cops being really pushed out of the way. There was a video I put yesterday on Discord. and it was a 40-minute video of, I guess, a social media influencer / journalist, and he was pretty much saying to, like, you're outnumbered, cops. You know, the best thing you guys should do is move out the way. You know, and I'm like, what? So it's very, very mind-boggling to understand the entitlement and the privilege that was used by these people at the Capitol. I mean, it's their house. What?
Yeah.
So, like, all this rhetoric and their actions backed it right up. So I'm just confused by their stance and what they feel as being right, beyond the fact that they believe that election was stolen. Outside of anything that's legally, you know, at hand, you can't violently change the election results. That's asinine.
Yeah. Jack, thoughts? We can't hear you.
If it was so organized and everything, and we think that there is insiders and stuff, there's also this story that's coming out about a French donor on December 8th that had made simultaneous transfers of 28.15 bitcoins at the time, which were worth about $500,000. And he sent them to 22 different virtual wallets, and they all belong to prominent right-wing organizations and personalities. They're thinking that this was, you know, donations that were linked to the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol too, that were, you know, kind of done beforehand to help people organize and to help people get to the location, and then also to provide them with, you know, money to do anything else. I mean, overall, yeah, I mean, I think it is very interesting that there was no, like, the fact that there was no protesters really that were gunned down besides the one that was breaking into the doors already inside the Capitol building.
Yeah.
You know, I could see it being a sheer outnumbering thing. And if you have 30 people that are against 50,000 and you fire on one of them and you see that majority of them have a firearm or some kind of metal object that they can beat you with, I mean, you are severe. Like, you got to, in that moment, say, okay, can I take out one? But then am I going to be just basically mauled? You know, but it's also part of doing their job.
Yeah.
It definitely is unequal response compared to feeling threatened for their lives. You know, did any of those? You know, I don't have any of the photos pulled up in front of me. Did they have any, you know, assault weapons on the Capitol Hill police, or did they just have like handguns?
It looks like one of them had an assault rifle in the room where they shot Ashley Babbitt in the throat or near the throat. One of the officers in there had a assault rifle, but I don't know about the rest.
But isn't it interesting that for the most part, as far as we know, only one bullet was shot.
Yep.
Only one freaking
shot.
Bullet, y'all. One.
Yeah,
You got people going at. I'm sorry, David. You got people going towards a building filled with elected officials, and only one bullet was shot. That's a huge surprise to me. David, what were you going to say? My bad, man.
Yeah, it was the whole police situation at the Capitol was the biggest problem to me in this entire situation. It speaks of pre-planning more than anything. Well, not more than anything, but it very much speaks of pre-planning to me. We had half of the Capitol Police off duty or at least deployed elsewhere, not at the Capitol. MPD is almost always present at the White House or the Capitol whenever there is a potential for violence. They were always at the White House, but they didn't show up at the Capitol, even though they usually are already there. I mean, they are the ones that cleared the Capitol and made all the arrests, but they showed up after the breach. And one thing that really strikes me about this is that the fighting against them only really happened on the perimeter. There's videos of, you know, police brawling with them using batons and helmets. And, I mean, they're getting attacked. The police are defending themselves. They're not attacking, but, you know, they're fighting back. Except that once they get inside, the fighting stops. There was that one black cop in the hallway that was running back and forth and defending the hallway, chasing people away from the representatives. But he's like the only one that seemed to be engaged in actively trying to defend the place while this entire thing was going on. I mean, you could say the person that shot the woman was defending, I think, the last chamber. So, you know, that's an incident of them defending themselves. But other than that, it seems like once they got in the building, the violence stopped. They were just allowed to go wherever they wanted. Most of the Capitol Police either seemed to hide or not, or let them walk past. Only a few were brave enough to fight the large mob by themselves. But we got the Capitol Police chief who resigned over this because of only having half the Capitol Police there. And why wasn't the MPD there? We haven't heard it. There was some rumors or maybe speculation that they weren't there because their budget had been reduced earlier in the year, which I think ended up being over $1 billion total. But from what I can tell, their manning hasn't decreased yet. That'll start decreasing maybe this month or next month. So they were still, even though they had less money, they were still mostly a full force. I guess they couldn't pay people, maybe.
But isn't that funny?
Sounds like to me, though, that they intentionally did not have the police there, specifically because they did not want them to face this crowd.
How convenient.
That needs to be investigated really badly.
How convenient. Basically, how convenient. They were undermanned. How's that? They were understaffed on a day that they should be incredibly staffed. And yet we even still have video. And this is the thing. I'm sorry, David. I'll throw it back to you here in a second. But I need to exercise this idea out of my head, okay? Because we've already talked about it a million times. We've already seen it countless times. We've been, all of us, including the Pascal Show family, all that. All of us have seen these videos of cops holding the doors open for people to come in and out. Real talk. Why is that happening? They're letting these guys leave untouched, unbothered. As they're walking in, there's video footage. There's video footage of people walking into the Capitol. And cops are just standing on the side. Like, just looking at them walking in as if they're tourists. And they're doing nothing. This isn't like some random guys like going in acting like they're tourists and then all hell breaks loose. Hell was breaking loose outside and these guys are walking in and these cops are standing on the side just chilling. Unbothered. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I mean, they requested the National Guard 6 times, I believe. At least 6 times. They requested them at least 6 times at the Capitol. Maybe more, but that's all I've heard of. And each time they were denied. And now the D.C. National Guard is unique because D.C. doesn't have a governor. They're not a state. They're a city. So the National Guard, the D.C. National Guard reports to the Pentagon. And the Pentagon was the one ultimately that decided not to use the D.C. National Guard because they're the one that controls it. And that's very questionable in and of itself. We had both Virginia and the other state that's part of D.C., I forget which one, they both had their National Guard present. But D.C. itself, they weren't present at the Capitol, but they had people there in the city. But D.C. wouldn't deploy their guard there at all, which is strange. It's not under control of them. It's not under control of any of the people local to D.C. And I really want to emphasize that because in every other state, the guard is the force of the governor. In this case, the person controlling the forces is the Pentagon, and they're not even directly, a lot of the people there that have no ties really to D.C. So especially since the Pentagon, when you're dealing with guard officers or military officers, you're likely having them from all kinds of different states because they pretty much pick people based on prior work, especially in intelligence and the like. So they will pull anyone from any state, meaning that D.C. is not, strictly speaking, in control of their own guard. I believe the Pentagon is even technically in Virginia, I believe, so it's not even part of D.C. And they control the guard, and they denied sending the guard at the request of D.C. police and their mayor, I believe. The MPD for sure asked for help, and I think the mayor as well was one of the people that called them a few times.
But isn't it funny that, and I'm not trying to turn this into a thing, so please guys don't get it twisted, but I am going to point this out. BLM Antifa protests in front of the steps of Capitol Hill. National Guard is all over that mug. There's a Save America, Stop the Steal rally, and these cops are fighting for their lives. They're overwhelmed by the tidal wave of people that were bum rushing the building. When they say the BLM is going over there to demonstrate, or Antifa's coming to demonstrate, they are suited and booted. They got guys lined up on the stairs just ready to kind of like, come get some. You gonna try? Come get some. Then this thing happens, and they just sleep on it. They're like I just said, I saw, and it's like Juanita just said in the comments, they're just waving people in. Just come on in, yeah. Be sure to check out these statues. Aren't they majestic? That's history in the making. While you are ransacking the elected officials' offices, check out the memorabilia that's hanging on the walls. What? That doesn't make any sense. Antifa and BLM are there, and they're on lockdown. And you're telling me that this isn't I'm not saying that anybody is saying that this isn't an inside job, but rhetorically, you're telling me that this isn't an inside job? I beg to differ, y'all. Something fishy going on. Most definitely. And it just seems like everything is happening in the most convenient fashion. In the most convenient fashion. And that's trash. That's absolute trash, in my opinion. It's trash. It's so overly convenient. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is... It's almost too good to be true. Because there's other things. You know, people sit there and say 9/11 was an inside job. Or they'll sit there and say, the bombing that happened on Christmas Day was an inside job. I mean, there's conspiracy theories out there all day long. But then you look at this, and you can't help but look at where the breadcrumbs are taking you. And it's not some weird, dirty, deep, dark rabbit hole. It's just there. There is no rabbit hole. It's just right there on the grass. It's just like, here it is. No conspiracy theories. No need to deep dive. It's all right there for everyone to see. There were cameras running everywhere. People were stupid enough to live stream their experience inside these riots. There's nothing out here to hide there's nothing to hide. There's no conspiracy. There's stuff this stuff really went down. You can't go back and go, oh, no, because because the way it is and the angle and the security cam footage is a little fuzzy. Therefore, he wasn't really holding a gun. It was like a plastic fork. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. Everything's clear as day. You see it all right there. There is no rabbit hole to jump through. It is so creepy. All the other things, you got to deep dive, and you're like, oh, Fahrenheit 9/11 and blah, blah, blah. Carry the third divisible by 7 type stuff. And then you get some crazy harebrained conspiracy theory. There's no conspiracy theory here. There is footage on top of footage on top of footage of things going down right in front of our faces. They just need to start fessing up and telling the truth. And some of these Congress people, bruh, you had Ali Alexander coming out and saying, I work with these 3 guys. Round them up. Round up those 3 GOP guys. Round up Representative Boebert that was refusing to walk through a metal detector days after the riots because she wants to exercise her rights. I get it. Everybody's on edge. Who wants to have somebody have a weapon on their person inside the Capitol building days after the riot? Who wants that? It's insane. This whole thing is absolutely insane. And I do think that things are going too slow. I feel that. Like, Boebert hasn't been brought in for questioning. Those 3 GOPs that we know that Ali Alexander has said he was conspiring with, have not been brought in from what I know, unless something happened in the last few hours. It's like nobody's really trying to get down to the nitty-gritty of the actual situation because they don't want us to know the truth. But they don't want to fess up to the truth. And some ish really went down. This was inside. This was all done, conspired by somebody. You never know. I mean, there's crazier ideas out there. But, you know, Trump is denying X, Y, and Z. He's saying he didn't do this, that, and the third. But at the same time, come on now, y'all. He was saying that the January 6th was going to be amazing, was going to be big. It was going to be a huge day. I think he said something along the lines of it's going to be epic. And it was. He also, by the way, before we go into our quiz, he also said in his second or third speech from the White House, Oval White House, you know, I did that pop-up video where I was responding to it and everything. He also did say something. He was like, yes, there are people talking about things going on during the inauguration or days leading to the inauguration. He said those things out loud. You're telling me he didn't know what was going to happen on the 6th, weeks before the 6th actually went down? He was saying that it was going to be epic. His speech wasn't epic, but the results of his speech was epic. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you also got to remember all the people that came on to speak for him, rallying everybody up. The best is yet to come, girl. You had who else? Giuliani, etc. All going up there speaking and trying to get the people up and running. There was one government, one elected official that was using Hitler and saying that Hitler was right on some things. Literally in one of her speeches, in one of his speakers was saying that before he came up and talked. I'm saying, guys, there's a lot of wrong things going on here. Real talk. And you're telling me that this guy didn't know? Like, Dorito dusted ass didn't know? He's playing dumb, yet he's still going, oh, yeah, there's some stuff going to be happening possibly next week around this time. Because he knows. Something ain't right. Sorry. Something just ain't right. Anyway, we got to jump into this next segment, guys. There's just, And until we see more, until they prove otherwise, until they prove otherwise, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for them to prove otherwise. I'm waiting for them to go, no, Trump didn't know anything at all. He didn't know anything. He just went up there and spoke for an hour and 15 minutes of a rant that made no sense. But moving on. How he was borderline enthusiastic, hearing the story, hearing the news about the chaos that was going on in Capitol Hill. And you're telling me he didn't know anything about this beforehand? David, go ahead.
That's a big problem I've had with a lot of people regarding Trump's speech. Because if you've been watching what he said, he's never directly said violence. Right, but he even said that he wanted the protests to be peaceful. But and people are saying that since he said those literally, that he did not instigate any violence. But it's not just that one incident. It's when you look at all the other things he said, talking about people to go up to the senators to make sure that the opposing senators and House members really, really know their displeasure, and telling people to go and physically support GOP representatives and senators. He has been building up the idea of invading the White House for a while, even if he's been, or not White House, the Capitol building or the White House for a while. And so when you take all of that in considering what he had to say there, especially since he was still, and I think he still is, saying that the election was stolen and that he won. I think he conceded at one point and then decided to retract that concession. But I think it would be very hard to say, looking at all of the previous speeches of Trump, including this one, that he didn't intend or desire some sort of altercation between people and the police. And I mean, you could definitely argue he had no clue exactly how it would play out. He's probably not thought much about it, and I doubt he has. I doubt he was directly involved with most of those people, maybe some of them, but most of them. So basically, he had created a keg that was ready to explode, and then he just kind of laid a match next to it and then walked away. And that's how he kind of instigated the violence. It wasn't through directly saying go commit violence.
Right.
It was through proposing the idea of confrontation, taking them to a place where confrontation against the senators was possible, and then ending his speech on the idea that they need to go and show their displeasure right then.
Right.
That's what created. I mean, the FBI is looking into this being an entirely pre-planned event, and that's possible as well, that most of the bad actors were pre-planned and weren't instigated by the speech, but by the large crowds that showed up there, and not all of them being involved in the violence, but there to kind of support it, kind of suggests to me that he was responsible for it being so large, and that if he hadn't given that speech, the Capitol Police would have probably been able to handle the crowds, the pre-planned crowd that showed up on that day. But he gave them somewhere to hide, and he gave them the power of, I don't know, there's thousands of people at least, maybe more, to kind of stand behind them. And though they were peacefully protesting, they were ultimately the one not at the building, were peacefully protesting. They were, in effect, blocking the MPD and any other forces from getting to the Capitol building to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
And so even those that did not intend to go there commit violence, they were encouraged by Trump to be there and prevent the city from being able to respond to that violence.
Right on. Yeah. And yeah, and like he said, I mean, it's true. There was a lot of things. And I mean, of course, I think he was very choosy, very careful with his words, because he knew for a fact that if he was going to use like, hey, do this, or, use words that would literally lead down the path of inciting insurrection or inciting violence, then this would be a done deal. We wouldn't even be discussing this conversation, right? But he was very choosy with his words, so that it could be flimsy. I said this, I didn't say that though. But that's Trump for you. He's very crafty in that way. He's good at what he does. He's good at this game. That's his talent, right? So he can go into certain things and try to bend the rules and bend the things a little bit. But anyway, we got to jump into this thing. It's time for
Pop Quiz Hot Shot.
Yes, Pop Quiz Hot Shot. Wow, Hot Quiz Pop Shot. Anyway, we got to do a quick game. You know what I mean? We're wrapping up the show, but it is time to play a little bit of, have some fun today. We're gonna do a quiz with Jack being the host of this game. What's the game today, man?
All right, so it's kind of a two-parter. We got part one's going to be some movie trivia, and then part two is going to be some lyrics trivia, because I know everyone got their own specialties. So I want to lean towards something maybe everybody might know, just to give you guys a chance, because otherwise Pascal's just going to crush you on the lyrics.
We'll see.
So, okay. Let's see. Who just crossed 20,000 subscribers?
Pascal.
There you go. Me. Oh, and also comment down below. You know what I mean? Be a part of the game. Go ahead and be a part of the game. We got to make this one a really quick one, those guys. So let's get it quick. Let's go.
Okay. What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane?
Rosebud.
Correct. Who played Mrs. Robinson in the movie The Graduate?
No clue.
I don't know.
Anne Bancroft.
Anne Bancroft. Ah, thank you.
All right. What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
Toy Story.
Dumbo.
Nope.
The first animated movie?
The first feature-length animated movie
Feature-length.
ever released.
5-0 Goes West. I have no idea.
No. Way before that.
Snow White.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's
Good
correct.
job.
Okay. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
The red pill.
Red.
Yeah, he takes the red.
Yep. Let's see. What movie did Tom Hanks score his first Academy Award nomination?
Forrest Gump.
Nope.
Oh, Philadelphia.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Big.
Big.
What year
Yep.
was it?
Wow.
Big.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did a good job in that movie. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of the skyscraper in Die Hard?
I don't remember. Damn. Skyscraper.
Anybody?
Everlast.
No. Nakatomi Plaza.
A Nakatomi Kazoo type.
There we go. What flavor of Pop-Tarts does Buddy the Elf use in his spaghetti in Elf?
Brown sugar.
Strawberry?
Cinnamon.
Nope.
Nutmeg.
Chocolate.
Boo.
Let's see here. Who played juror number 8 in 12 Angry Men?
In the original?
One more time. I couldn't hear you guys.
I just didn't hear the question.
Oh, who played juror number 8 in 12 Angry Men?
Looney?
Nope.
Sean Connery.
Nope. Henry Fonda.
Thank you. I didn't know it. I didn't know it.
True or false? Sean Connery wore a toupee or wig in every one of his James Bond films.
True.
False.
True.
True.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a toupee like a mug.
I did in some, so.
Yeah, he was rocking that.
And
toupee.
here's the last one for the movie trivia. What Hollywood movie star plays himself in Zombieland?
Bill Murray.
Ghostbusters. Shit.
Correct, Bill Murray. All right, going on to some lyrics trivia here.
Okay,
I'm going to give you a lyric. You got to tell me who sang it and what's the name of the song.
Make it short. We got to wrap this show up. All right.
All right. I wish I was like you, easily amused. Find my nest of salt. Everything's my fault.
I have no idea.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Katy Perry.
No. I think Kurt Cobain.
Really?
Nirvana.
So, Nirvana. All apologies.
Oh, okay. You just said Kurt Cobain, so.
I'll do 3 more.
Okay.
Okay. At night, I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire.
R. Kelly.
Nope.
Bruh, come on, man. Come on, man. Only you can cure my desire. I don't know.
Only you can cool my desire.
I'm intentionally aiming for 0 points today.
'Cause I'm on fire. Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that song.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, come on.
Whoa, I'm on fire.
First
That's
you
the
get
song?
a swimming pool full of liquor. Then you dive in it. Pool full of liquor. Then you dive in
Kendrick
it.
Lamar.
I wave a few bottles and I watch them all flock.
Kendrick Lamar.
What's it called?
Drink, right?
Liquor, right? No,
Swimming pool
Swimming
drink.
pool.
Yeah.
I forgot the title of it, whatever.
All right. And last one here.
Okay.
A skinny man died of a big disease with a little name. By chance, his girlfriend came across a needle, and soon she did the same.
Heroin.
Cobain.
Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be some like Black Crows.
Nope.
I don't know. Alice in Chains. I'm thinking something that's
Prince.
heroin.
Sign
Prince.
of the times.
Oh, Prince.
Oh wow, you got me on that Prince one. Damn. Well, there you go. That is Pop Quiz Hotshot. Thank you guys so much for playing, guys. You know what I mean? I don't know who won. I think it was me. Actually. So.
I don't know. T was was grabbing a few out of there too. I don't know. Maybe it's a tie to everybody. Everybody's a winner.
Did you ever feel like a plastic bag blowing through the wind? Who's that?
Is that from what's that movie with the guy that now is shamed? The plastic bags floating in the air. What's that?
Well, yeah, that American Beauty, but it's a lyric from a movie, man. Come on, dog. It's a lyric from a movie.
I'm like one of the people that always hears the wrong lyrics and just remembers the song wrong, so I'm never going to win a game like this.
Right. Well, there's a lot of songs where you think it sounds like something else, but then the lyrics, you read the lyrics, you're like, that's what it says? I didn't even know it was that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jeff Hastings had it. It's Katy Perry. You know that, Baby, you're a firework. That song. Anyway, random left turn. Yeah. No reaction from anybody. Like, what's up? It's Friday. There's a reason to celebrate, mother lovers. Damn. Anyway, thank you guys. T, David, Jack, thank you so much for being on, guys. Man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
It is about that time. I appreciate everybody for being on. We just crossed 20,000 subscribers, y'all. Yes, one more time. Yay, you know what I mean? You guys can clap. Clap, mother lovers. It's hard work. And it ain't that hard to clap them hands. Come on. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. I'm very excited. 20,000 subscribers. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. Oh, by the way, I will be on Twitch tomorrow afternoon around 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be doing a live show over there, just hanging out, chilling, you know what I mean? Just kind of doing a fun, laid-back Saturday show. I would love to see you guys over there on Twitch with me. Join me as I probably play some games and do that. I am not some gamer or anything, but I'm thinking about like trying like Among Us or something. I've never played that game in my life. So I figured, why not try to have some fun, do something a little bit different, and try a different platform. You know what I'm saying? So I will be on Twitch tomorrow. I'll probably put it up on my Discord. Definitely go hit that Discord join button. Go join it, download the app and all that, and be a part of the conversation over there as well. And I will most likely have a whole bunch of pop-up videos over the course of the weekend. And, you know, there will be a pop-up video probably today, you know? There will be a pop-up video a little bit later on today, so be on the lookout for that. Anyway, it's time to get going. I will see you guys very, very soon. Stay blessed out there. I love all you guys. And keep sharing the show. Keep telling your friends about the show. Man, we are getting closer and closer to reaching our goal to 25,000, which is pretty damn dope. Anyway, I appreciate all y'all. 20,000 subscribers, y'all. Yay. I hear people starting to join now. Anyway, I got to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Stay blessed out there. Bye.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that. So what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
the Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.